Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Chapter 5 of Rapid Fate Online, and this one is titled A Better Day. No, keep it for now, she replied. I work in the restaurant downstairs, so you know where to find me. You looked up above her head and took note of her username. Thank you so much again. I'll definitely repay you, you said gratefully as you entered the room and put your basket beside the bed. No problem at all, she replied. Good luck back in the real world. You smiled and closed the door, sitting on the bed before opening the menu and logging off. As you came back to reality, you sat up and sighed. Man, what a frustrating first introduction to RFO. I'm not even sure I want to go back, but I need to repay that player. You fell asleep that night dreaming about picking berries. Yo, you look dead. What happened to you? Your best friend asked when she saw you at school the next day. Do not ask, you replied grumpily. Studying late? She asked. Yeah, something like that, you said dismissively. You weren't going to tell her that you had bought RFO and that you sucked at it. How embarrassing. You need to have some downtime, your best friend said with a cheeky grin. Come play RFO, get the gear and join me, she said with a chuckle. You sighed. Ugh, if only she knew I spent 6 hours picking goddamn berries in a field to get 10 mahi, then still didn't have enough to stay somewhere safe that night and had to get help. She could tell you weren't in the mood for some friendly ribbing, so she just engulfed you in a hug and squeezed you. Come on, I'll buy you lunch today. As the day dragged on, you found yourself getting more and more worked up about how your first day in RFO had gone. I know I can do better than that. Maybe I'll give it another shot. The minute school was over, you raced home, making the excuse to your best friend that you just wanted to sleep. You got home and lay on the bed, putting the Nerve Gear headset on and pressing the power button on the side. That familiar white light engulfed you, and as the headgear whirred to life, all of a sudden you were back on the bed in the inn that you'd stayed at yesterday. I'm back again, you thought. A smile crept over your face. You were determined to do better this time around. You picked up your basket and went out the door and downstairs, looking for the player at the restaurant so you could tell her that you were going to try and make some more mahi today to pay her back. She wasn't there yet, but her boss, who was also a player, was there, and you asked him some questions about what kind of foods were sold well and where you could find them. He said that there were a number of wild mushrooms around in the woods and that he would buy them from you to use in the restaurant. Just be careful of the monster out there. You don't have a weapon, so if you get attacked by one, you could get killed and have to start from scratch again, he warned. Okay, so I just run? You asked. Yes, definitely. They only chase for a while, so you only have to run for not long. Oh, okay, no worries, you replied. You thanked him and left the inn, heading for the city gates and the fields that lay beyond. As you neared one of the goji berry bushes, you checked your health bar. It was 40 out of 50. Not too bad. The sleep must have done you good. You grabbed a handful of berries for good measure and ate them as you headed for the forest. You entered the tree line cautiously, but relaxed more when you weren't attacked immediately upon entering. You found a few white mushrooms that the item bar called white mushrooms, and said that they were good for eating and worth 3 mahi each. You picked just a few so that you wouldn't run the risk of getting an item that might expire quickly, and headed deeper into the forest. As you went, you found more and more different types of mushrooms. You picked about 5 of each, filling your basket as you went. There were some larger purple mushrooms that you found that were called hashi mushrooms, and the item bar said that they were worth 7 mahi each. They seemed to be quite sparse, so you had a feeling that they could be a little more of a sought-after item, so you took a few extra, just in case. Just then you heard a growl and froze. A wild boar with glowing red eyes was staring you down from your right. It had a red cursor above its head. Red for danger. Got it, you thought. You turned and fled immediately. The boar gave chase, but you outran him easily and stopped when you saw that he had turned around and walked off. Your health bar beeped and you looked to your left. 29 out of 50? Ugh. Okay, let's eat a mushroom and see what happens, you thought. You picked out a purple hashi mushroom and hesitantly took a bite. Not the most exciting flavour, but it might taste better cooked. You looked at your health bar again as you munched, and as you finished the mushroom it jumped to 41 out of 50. Oh my god, mushrooms are awesome! You decided to head back with what you had and just see what their true value was before going and collecting more. "Hey, I got some mushrooms, but I don't know which ones you want," you said to the boss as you entered the restaurant. "Let's see," he said, leading the way to the kitchen. You picked a few of the mushrooms out of the basket and sat them on the counter for him to look at. It's a nice variety," he said as he looked them over. "Personally, I like to cook with tapir mushrooms," he said, pointing to the brown mushrooms on the bench. You knew they were only 4 mahi. Okay," you said. "What about these hashy ones?" "Yeah, they are good, but they go best with meat. I will take a few though, as I'm going to be cooking a little bit of meat tonight for special guests." And there ends Chapter 5 of Rapid Fate Online, and Chapter 6 will be up tomorrow.